This is welcome to In the Hole. This is my first and most favorite guest yet, Morgan Ziegler, dancer, choreographer, cool guy number one, and I'm really excited. We're here in Morgan Ziegler's very cool bedroom. How did this start? This started with competitive dance, right?
Yeah. I grew up as a competition dancer. I started in second grade, so I think I was like 7 or 8, and I was gonna make a 6-7 joke there, and I really tried, but for storytelling accuracy, let the record show I was 7 or 8, and I had been at this studio I was at since I was 4, I believe. Breaking Ground Dance Center in Pleasantville, New York. Shout out. Eventually they asked me to audition for the competition team. Oh my god, yeah, the day of the audition was my birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
Like at the very first audition
My very first
Wow.
audition for the competition team. And I think I only had to do the audition once.
Did you inquire about dancing? Like, had you seen friends dancing and asked about competition?
The studio owner talked to my mom about my brother auditioning.
Oh.
And my brother decided not to audition, but I auditioned. I thought it was so special that the audition was on my birthday. I felt like that was something that was like meant to be.
And you were excited?
Oh, so excited.
Yeah. Okay.
So excited. I loved dance. I loved performing growing up. I have a Leo moon, and so I think a big part of my expression of emotion has to do with performance. Not to like believe in astrology, but this is very top of mind because the other day my mom texted me, and it was her mom's birthday, my Lola, and my Lola passed when I was 4, and so my mom was texting me, and she was like, oh, like, isn't it true that, like, at World Cup, my preschool, like, that summer camp, you sang I Miss You by Miley Cyrus, like, to your whole class about your grandma, and that is indeed true. 5-year-old me decided to process grief by performing a Miley Cyrus song for her preschool summer camp. And so truly, before I knew what any of the astrology stuff was, I've always been a Leo moon. I've always been very expressive and dramatic.
Proof is in the pudding. And I'm sure Lola appreciated it.
My Lola butterfly. It was her birthday on the 25th. She would have been 80.
Happy birthday, Lola.
My Lola, my butterfly. The butterfly tattoo I have on my ribs is actually for my Lola. And my mom has a matching one. I got it for her as a Christmas present.
That's very nice.
And her favorite animal was a monarch butterfly.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's so sweet.
like we really, specifically monarch butterflies. Like, my mom saw one the other day, and she texted in our group chat. It was the day after Lola's birthday, and she's like, saw a monarch butterfly on my drive today. And, like, we always know that's our Lola saying hi.
Yeah. Did she ever do any dance? Like, did your mom or even Lola?
My Lola was a competitive gymnast, actually.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if she was also a chemical engineer. My grandpa was a chemical engineer. It's funny, my mom and her sister both have the initials, birth initials were EMC.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's Ethylene May Siriaco, and my aunt is Eileen Marty Siriaco. And so when my mom got married to my dad, Z,
Mm-hmm.
one year my great aunt and uncle got her like a little sign that says E = MC squared, but instead of this 2, it's a Z.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
I love that.
And her name, ethylene, is a chemical compound, C2H4.
Oh,
My
so
mom is named after a chemical compound.
That's
very
so cool.
Very science-y.
Does your name come from anything? Or do you know what it comes from? It must be something.
Don't know where Morgan comes from. I know my middle name is my grandpa's name is Manuel, my Lolo, and my middle name is Emmanuel.
Oh,
so
that's
it's
such
like
a nice middle name.
the feminized version with like the LLE, like French spelling.
Yeah.
I have terrible ADHD, and so half of this is going to be low-key unusable,
No,
because it's going to have no train of thought.
I mean, as long as you let me, I think this is usable, because I think there is something to be said about, like, there was a competitive spirit for a body-based art form.
My dad, was a competitive tennis player.
Oh, so you guys are all very competitive. Or was it competition, or is there, like, competitive spirit, like board games get too intense style?
Oh, we stopped having family game night when I was maybe 4 or 5, because I got mad that I lost at bingo.
Classic.
Which is by the way like a chance-based game, but I got mad that
Which also doesn't relate to skill.
Oh yeah, no skill,
yeah.
no ability. I got mad I lost. We never did family game night again.
Okay. Winners don't accept losing, actually. It's the Marty Supreme. Like, I am not even considering the option of loss.
I was not I was a sore loser growing up.
And that's why you're
I low-key lost a lot of that dog in me, though. Like, I feel like I was a very competitive, spiteful kid.
Yeah. Was it because of dance, though? Like, do you think that do you think it kind of prevented that dog in you? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you think it actually is the reason you lost the dog in you? Because
no, I don't think that's dance. I think I was never, like, crazy competitive with dance. I think I mostly was competitive with myself. That I had certain expectations for myself, of things I wanted for myself, but it was never, like, I need to be better than these other people. Mm-hmm. Like, that was never how my mentality was framed. Like, obviously, I competed against my friends, but we also competed together. Like, our group dances were always our most important thing, like, much more than our solos or like the small groups or, like, duos or trios we would have that would compete against each other. Like, it was very much, we were always so happy for our friends to win. Mm-hmm. I know this is not the case in every competition studio. I had a really great culture at my studio. I love the girls I grew up competing with. I still have a group chat where I text them. That was such a like, place of stability and comfort and security for me growing up.
Being competitive with yourself, then what did that look like then? Like, was it putting in extra hours? Or even, what does that look like now, too?
Growing up, oh my god, I was never naturally flexible. So my first year on the competition team, I would fall asleep in my split, and I couldn't do a full split yet, and so I would, like, stack pillows up under to close the gap to make it more comfortable, and every night I would do that and try and, like, gradually, like, take a pillow down until I could do a full split. I would stretch my splits while I was doing homework or reading. I wanted to just be able to do more.
Yeah, and it's a tangible and clear direction of progress, and you can see the progression. Yeah. Like, it's very easy to say, like, well, it used to be 4 pillows, now it's 1 pillow, right. Something like that feels clear forward momentum.
It's hard because I feel like now in my life I don't really have things that are, like, clear progress markers like that. Mm-hmm. I already learned how to do most of the stuff that I need to be able to do to, like, try and have a career in this, I guess.
Like, the basic toolbox is
right?
there.
Like, all of the goals I set are a lot more nebulous for myself. It's like, oh, I would like to, like, present work, like, sometime, like, at a certain place at some point. Even, like, it's so much easier for me to choreograph a work than it is to go about, like, trying to show that work. The problem with, like, dance as an industry is there is so many things you can do. And all of them actually require different things of you. You need different headshots and like, certain types of photography if you're trying to book commercial jobs, that is music videos, touring for artists, like award shows. Then there's the contemporary, like concert contemporary world, and that requires different training, different headshot, like a whole different style of aesthetic. And I think that also then like absolutely bleeds over into how you market yourself on social media. I would be able to show this by scrolling down my Instagram feed and pulling up a couple profiles to show the difference. Just have to know who you are as an artist and have a clear path of what you're trying to do. And I think that's something I'm still very much figuring out for myself. I have not even been trying to full-time pursue dance and choreography for a year. It has not been a year yet, and I took 4 years off of serious intensive training during college.
So this is the exploring phase.
Yeah. I'm like very much still trying to figure out what even exists in that world as career, like what is out there.
Yeah.
After I graduated, I asked my mom if she knew where all my old reports cards were, because I thought it would just be interesting to look at. Like at the end of my like formal like institutional academic career for time being, and multiple comments about how I struggle with free writing, like specifically that like what I write is good, I don't write a lot, like I'm terrible at producing volume. I've always been such a huge reader. I have always like voracious reader, devoured books growing up. I used to like pull all-nighters and pick a stack of like 3 or 4 books and read them all in one night, just because I could, because I wanted to, because I loved stories, I loved words. I'm so moved when I find other people who can use language in a way I find beautiful. I get very frustrated with myself when I cannot say something beautifully or in a way that feels like the right way. And so I'd rather just not write anything, because if I can't say it right, then what's the point of like documenting it?
You don't have to use your most recent piece, or the most recent piece that I saw as an example, but like the writing portion of that was very important.
Writing that was pretty easy for me comparatively of everything I've ever had to write ever. I think part of it is that I have never really like personally found a way to writing. I feel like all the writing I did growing up was an assignment. And so I got very used to writing being following other people's instructions and doing things a specific way and spitting out a very specific task. And I never really got to explore for myself what I'm interested in writing, how I'm interested in writing it. And then I think that's like, it's the whole thing of that like writing is a practice, and because I feel like I'm not good at it, I don't practice it, and so I don't get better.
Were you good at dancing right off the bat? Like, I think a lot of people that find things come easily to them, they need to learn later on how to work through discomfort. Like, did you have to work through that with dance too? Because it sounds like for flexibility you did, but like...
I'm not gonna say like dance came easy to me. But I also wouldn't say that like it was difficult. It's just that like I did work hard. Like I think my ability is a direct product of my effort, and I put a lot of effort in regardless of whether I had natural ability. And so I don't really know what like baseline natural ability was. I was like good at dance before I ever started training in dance. But I trained a lot in dance, and I worked really hard, and I put a lot of time in, like, outside of the studio. Also, like, just because I wanted to, because I wanted to be better when I was in the studio.
Did you have a clear reason for wanting to be better? Like, did you know you would want to be a dancer when you grew up, or was it?
Not at all. I wanted to be better because I liked doing it.
Yeah.
Because I really just loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And I never really thought I was going to grow up and do dance as a career.
Mm-hmm.
For one, I think most of my like exposure to dance as a career growing up was dance as was commercial dance or Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
And neither of those things really spoke to me as something I wanted to do as a career, because I did not want my ability to make money to be a like directly connected to my physical ability and also my looks.
Do you know where that fear came from? Or even, not even fear, but where that concern comes from?
It's just that I know that dance is an industry where, especially for commercial projects, there is a look.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I spent a whole lot of my life trying to be something people were looking for, and that is a like deep part of my difficult relationship with femininity and gender presentation in general. I feel like because for the most part I still appear conventionally feminine, if I was to pursue a commercial career, like I would not be able to be as visibly queer.
Kind of a two-part question. At what age do you think that you learned that, and do you think you've seen that change? Like, has the industry been shifting, or is it kind of a pseudo shift that is perceived but not actually shifting at the root?
I don't it's hard to say, because I was obviously like so completely unaware of the role of like my relationship with my gender that plays into, I think, how I see it now. I very much believe in like queerness as politic, as personal politic, and I think that like having to commercialize and sell myself and have that be like to some extent pretty tied to my looks, I can't do that. That'd be a lot of pressure for me.
Mm-hmm.
I am really more interested in doing work that depends on what either my body or mind can do. The concert contemporary scene is a lot more inaccessible, and also like relies a lot more on like funding, because it's not marketable. It's not selling something. I would rather be doing work that is based on what I can physically do.
Yeah, and the more healthy and sustainable pursuit is the one that doesn't have to involve that, so why force it?
Right.
You talked about group and like synchronization and like the community aspect of dance a lot, like when you were first starting out, and you still choreograph like group pieces. Any thoughts on like the difference between group and solo pieces, and like what bringing groups together, and like how you're choosing people? And
I think this is something I'm still working out very much for myself, because in my choreographic process I pretty much choreograph everything on myself.
Mm.
And then I will teach it to other people after having made it and set it on myself. I think that can sometimes make it harder, or it's not that it's harder, it's just it's different. I would make different things if I tried to verbally communicate and build things removed from feeling it in my own body.
Mm-hmm.
and it is absolutely, it's just a different way of generating material, and that's something that I need to push myself at getting better with and doing more. I think a lot of times I just get anxious about like asking people to set aside time to help me just try things out and work on things. um I know everyone is so stretched for time and trying to do a million things, and also I'm so not in a position where I can like compensate people for taking that time to play around and research stuff with me. And so I just get I get very in my head about it, and end up like not reaching out to people to do stuff, which is bad, and I need to get better at it. I get scared to do things that I don't know for sure I can do well.
Yeah.
Where like I know there will be a learning curve in trying something that I don't normally do.
Yeah.
It's nerve-wracking to put myself out there and ask other people to believe in me.
Yeah. I think having trust in what you've said for other things is you were working on pieces, choreographing stuff, teaching people what you have created, and then there was kind of a shift, and then after that you were learning pieces from other people and just doing the performing side of things and like not doing choreographing, and just knowing that other people too appreciate the balance of sometimes leading and sometimes being a part of like someone else's pursuit.
Yeah.
Because that's part of like dance and art as a whole, but also like knowing that it is beneficial for both sides, even though it feels like someone is sacrificing for your dream. It is also
Right.
it is contributing to their larger dream as well, or it should.
Yeah.
In an ideal world.
I don't know. I get nervous about asking people to show up for me in general, because I feel like a lot of times people disappoint me in that regard.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, last year for my last piece I choreographed for my college dance group, there was 15 people in the dance, which is crazy hard to schedule and coordinate. Everyone's a college student, has other work, has other rehearsals, all of this stuff. Out of 15 dancers, only 3 people, and I am one of those 3 people were at every rehearsal I had for that piece. All 12 other people in the piece missed at least one rehearsal. Some missed 2 or 3. That makes it really hard for me when I'm trying to set work and have to then separately teach people stuff they missed because they weren't there, and I can send them a video of it, and they'll say they'll learn it off the video, and they won't learn it off the video.
The creative field as a whole, if you cannot rely on the other people, that it is already such a fight to be able to be doing something like this, to make something more of a fight, it is always disheartening at the least.
Right.
It makes something harder that's supposed to be
so difficult. And now I like go back and I watch the footage of that dance, and I'm like, I made something really sick here, and a lot of it visually doesn't read because people don't know what they're doing. Yeah. And that's so frustrating, and I want to be able to like submit that footage to stuff and be able to like showcase that as product of my work, but I actually don't feel confident because I look at it and like people are not executing it to a certain level, and it's kind of not necessarily their fault. It's kind of a function of it's for a fucking college dance group showcase. Like, everyone has a million other things, and we're all learning a million other dances, and also like it's final season, and we have all this shit to do, and so like it's everyone's spread super fucking thin, and I get it. It's hard to do everything and do it well. I get that. I totally, like, didn't know there's definitely, like, one or two dances that I was in that showcase that I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
That I just didn't really know. Or I knew it just well enough, and the moment after it flew completely out of my brain.
Yeah.
Like, was really in short-term memory, and I get that.
But two things can be true. People can be spread too thin and let each other down and make something that should have been really beautiful not completely realized.
Right.
And that sucks, and that's hard.
Like, I look at that and I see that there was a lot of potential in that work, and I am theoretically interested in resetting and reworking that piece, because I really like what I made, but then it's like, what would I don't have something to rework it for. I don't know if I would want to do it with 15 dancers again. I don't know if there are 15 people that I can find that are all free at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That's so hard, especially now that I'm post-grad and everyone's working jobs, and, like, everyone's life looks different.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a very hard life stage for those reasons in particular, because we have not yet a ton of resources stored up, but more time than we may have had in previous years, or for some people it's a lot less time. For everyone it's just a very different schedule. We aren't all going to school in September, or even if not, even people that didn't go to school, they're like, I'm still understanding that a lot of my friends have a spring break. Like, spring break still exists to us right now.
I'm in a couple processes right now.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
yeah,
so
like,
tell me about
I'm in rehearsals
those.
for a couple things right now.
Oh, cool.
Oh, my
okay,
God.
Yeah.
One of these is actually they're both cool. One of them I'm like so jazzed and excited about.
Yeah,
I don't know which one.
Tell me about these, or one of them or all of them or whatever, but how do you find out about these things?
Okay. So one of them, the first one's in April, and it's this thing called Choreographers Carnival. I'm guesting with a company that I guested for, like, a video thing they did back in October. Choreographers Carnival, it's like a late night dance show that happens in a club, and it's just fun. The dance is super fun. It's to Victory Lap by Fred Again.
Oh, no kidding.
And I fucking love that song, and so it's super dope to dance, and I have a couple friends who are, like, also that I've worked with on other stuff that are also in the piece.
Oh, great, yeah.
And it's a good group of people, and I really love working with a choreographer, and I'm very excited to get to perform. The other project I'm working on right now that I'm dancing in, this one I'm so excited for. We are creating a site-specific piece in the half-pipe of a skate park. There's 3 sections to the work. I'm in the 3rd section. The first section is kind of like how the world is right now. The second section is kind of like chaos, riot, revolution. And then the 3rd section is, like, rebuilding.
Oh, great.
Like, how do we rebuild a new world?
Yeah.
I got involved in this project because I did an intensive in January. This person who came to one of the drop-in classes, I'd taken a couple other classes before with them, and after class, they came up to me and they were like, "You're based in the city, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "I'm working on this project that's happening in June, and I'd be really interested in having you be a part of it. If, like, what's your Instagram? I can send you some details." And they told me about the project, and I was like, "Oh yeah, like, this is sick, and this is exactly the type of work I want to be doing right now. Like, let's go."
Mm-hmm.
And we had our first rehearsal for that last Friday. And then on my way home from rehearsal, I broke my hand.
Oh, no.
But it's okay. Our next rehearsal isn't until my birthday.
Oh, really? Wait.
April 10.
Wait, that's so exciting.
Right.
So just enough time for the hand to...
Just enough time for my hand to heal.
Yeah.
So I can hang off of the half pipe and roll around.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, we're
cool.
running up it. Like,
interacting with the space.
sliding
like,
down it. Yes.
That's
like,
great.
like fully site specific. I'm so jazzed.
Wait, that's great.
I'm so jazzed. We spent, like, half of our first rehearsal just, like, playing
Running
around and seeing what we could do. And, like, I was, like, hanging off the, like, with my knees hanging off the top and then like letting go and sliding back down.
Yeah.
It's really, it's super awesome and it's a little scary, but it's really awesome and I'm super excited about it. I feel like the biggest thing I missed out for not like doing college dance and like getting a BFA is that I like didn't really get to do a lot of like collaborative group play, but like specifically like concert style. I feel like all of the like choreography, like learning performance stuff I've ever done has been more similar to the stuff I did in my competition days. And it's like still like, oh, like we'll learn like a 3-minute long piece and then we'll perform it like one night. I'm very interested in exploring with like longer work that also is like more conceptual. That is really the avenue I'm hoping to go down with both the work I create and the work I perform in for the most part. That being said, I'm not exactly in a place to be super choosy with which projects I work on, and not everything that I work on right now is going to be like my dream type of project. But I actually am working on something right now that is, like, kind of what the dream is.
Yeah. It sounds like this, at the skate park, this is, like, a really good example of clear storytelling through a piece. And I'm definitely curious as to how the storytelling aspect of, like, writing goes.
For the most part, I do like to have my music first. I think that's usually the easiest starting point, just because I think musicality is something that I prioritize a lot in my work. So I feel like it's so hard for me to create like phrase work and material removed from that. The writing was the very last thing I did for the piece I presented last month. I went through my journal from the 6 months that I had been kind of toying with that idea and underlined anything that could be anything, rewrote it all in one sheet, and then from there kind of just pieced it together. There was already like kind of a structure of the piece that was cut through the music. First song, Drunk by Dijon, a duet, and I really did want the beginning of the piece to be a more, like a softer entry point, but still exploring some of, like, the tension. I think in designing the movement for that piece, I wanted there to be some softness and delicateness to it, but I was kind of thinking, like a dog begging, that there is still a very strong, like, want behind that. Without context, it's kind of hard to know what I'm talking.
That's okay. Eventually, also, the footage will be gotten, and I will be able to, like, link. And I will also be able to view it repeatedly for my own pleasure.
Thanks. I don't know what any of it looks like. I haven't seen it.
I know. Lucky me, though. I found it so beautiful that I cried quite a bit.
Originally, didn't want to dance in the piece. Honestly, because I've never made something I haven't danced in. I choreograph it and I also dance in it.
Yeah. As to ensure, like, execution is reliably done.
Not even that. I think sometimes it's just like a numbers thing, that if I want a certain number of people in a piece and I also know it and can do it because I've made it, it's so much easier for me to just be in it instead of teaching another person to do it.
Yeah.
That's how I felt with... Okay, and this is also because I'm a huge procrastinator with everything I do. I had like 6 months to make this piece. I started in my phone the the first piece of set material I set a month away from the show. I do think there is like something so valuable in making something, but then giving it to other people and letting them find themselves in the structure, in the frame I've given them. And I think like I can give the same piece of movement to 5 different people, and all of them are going to do something different with it, and I think that's so beautiful. And I am interested in continuing to incubate this work and in teaching the solo I created to someone else, and having someone do something different with it.
Yeah, seeing how it translates and take on new form.
But it felt kind of mean to make someone learn a
piece so quickly.
An intricate, well, because the other soloist, it was a 6.5 minute solo. She learned most of that in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? That was a lot, as a function of what the material was, it's a lot easier to teach fast, because a lot of that was more improvised scores. Like, there was like a good, like, at least 4 counts of 8 where I was like, just play with this, like, texture and intention. This is the general frame, like, explore it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot easier to teach fast.
Yeah.
The piece I did was a lot more actual, like, set, structured material.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to learn stuff, especially when you're learning it, and it's also, like, physically very demanding.
Mm-hmm.
The first solo was kind of exploring a little more of the, like, melancholy, like, sad aspect of want, of desire, as well as, like, the idea of, like, twisting, contorting, fashioning yourself in order to be desirable for someone else. Second solo was that when you twist yourself up and try and tear yourself apart in those ways, the rage and anger and hate that I think can boil up and kind of overtake. I was thinking more about like that, like, violent imagery around desire, that I do think that there is absolutely a violent aspect. I think about, like, the imagery of teeth at a neck, and that, like, I think I was getting a lot into cannibalism imagery, honestly, and it's really funny. I made a Pinterest board with all my visuals, and you know how they usually give you the more ideas section, and they'll give you a bunch of stuff? Pinterest won't. They go, like, we have no more ideas.
Oh, yeah, because it can't be like, here's the hotline for if you're interested in cannibalism, so they just act like the search isn't there.
Yeah, they just... Yeah. Whatever I've put on that board is a little too disturbing for them, that they've said, you don't need any more ideas.
Yeah.
You don't need more ideas. They're concerned for me.
Stop ideating now.
Right.
Yeah, go back.
And it's like, oh my god, I'm literally doing this for art. Like, this is for creative purposes, actually, and I'm not even being weird about it.
It's about the gnawing and, like,
the gnawing and also, like, the idea of being consumed by something, like, feeling like either that something is eating you from the inside out, or wanting someone so bad that, like, you feel the need that, like, to physically consume it, like, that there's almost something religious in that, of a sense of, like, of worship.
Yeah, to worship something so much you want to consume it is maybe the pinnacle of appreciation. Right.
Or not even appreciation, because it is a little more, like, sick than that, I guess.
Yeah, appreciation is maybe the soft core word. It is worship.
Like, yeah, it is worship.
Yeah. It is to feel like not even maybe beneath, but maybe belittled by, or maybe shamed in how much you want the thing.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's the biggest thing, is, like, ultimately the thing that eats us is shame. I feel, but also was really interested in exploring, like, a lot of shame about want and desire, and feeling, I have this thing where I feel like I'm always doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And
Wait, did you grow up religious? Is this like the religious guilt thing that
kind
people
of,
speak of?
kind of. I was raised Roman Catholic. I'm confirmed in the Roman Catholic Church. Shout out. Whatever. I was never really into it. I always wanted to play my DS in church, and I would bring books so my mom would let me read them during the homily.
Mm-hmm.
Really was never into it. Like, never...
Yeah, never, like, drank... Well, I probably shouldn't say drank the Kool-Aid, but never,
Drank the
never,
communion
like...
wine.
Never, like,
Drink out
absorbed
of that,
it and had to rid
drink out
yourself
of that
it.
dirty communal cup. Oh my god, no wonder we had COVID. Bro, it's so scary. My mom would always talk about this. Every time, the communion wafers are one thing. You have it, you eat it. But then you could go up and drink the wine, and you drink it from the same cup, and then they'd wipe it with a napkin, and then someone else would cup and drink from the same cup.
Oh,
and it's
wow.
like, there's backwash in there.
Yeah, that's actually my nightmare.
It's disgusting. The
nightmare.
communal wine cup, disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it scares me. No, it actually really scares me.
But the true worship thing would be like to like fully worshiping someone is like you want their backwash. Like you would have like a sick pleasure. Like to truly worship would to be like.
Well, it's not Jesus's backwash. It's because it's supposed to be like the body and blood of Christ.
Yeah.
It is like actually that is like a consumption thing of you eat the body and blood of Christ and you drink the body. You eat the body of Christ, you drink the blood, and then you're cleansed. You're one with with God, with that higher power. And I think I actually like wrote about this a little in my journal about like the idea of like communion is what that sacrament is called, and just the when I think of the word communion, it's like being with.
Yeah, it is like a privilege to be able to be that connected.
Right.
Like that is something that one can do with God that I can't do with my loved ones. Like you can't consume them, which is kind of what the piece is about. It's like the gnawing of the thing you can't have inside you.
Is like desire is a shameful animal. I think there is something very animalistic about it. Is the other thing. It's like more than cannibals, I think about like wolves.
Mm. Predators.
Like, or just anything that like has been trained to hunt.
Mm-hmm.
The aspect of like possession, I think is also more of an animalistic urge. But I don't necessarily know if that's an animalistic urge, because I think a lot of like possession has to do with a culture of property and ownership, which I think is actually a very human construct.
Yeah, like possession is a learned thing, but territory is in theory
territorial, sure.
Yeah.
But I do think that like
but possession is built.
God, this is crazy. And I sound, guys, I'm not polyamorous. I am not advocating for any opinion on polyamory. The other day, I was in the bookstore, and as I do, I got a book. It's called Monogamous Mind, Polygamous Terror. The cover's really pretty, so I was tempted enough. But then I also read the back, and I was like, I actually was talking about something like this earlier, which is that, like, theoretically, monogamy as a structure, like, kind of upholds and reinforces, like, structures of possession and domination and ownership. Then I read the back of this book, and it's, like, it's pretty much, like, about that. I don't know. I'm interested to read it. I think it's interesting. I don't personally think I'm poly. There's a lot to say about this that I can't get into right now.
No, I think that I too am not polyamorous, but I will say I think there is something to be said about, like, as we all know, marriage is invented so that men can own women in as many capacities as possible, financially and physically, etc., etc. But because things are changing, we can still have the existence and security and bond of something like marriage without it having all of the things. So monogamy can enable and encourage possession and domination and all of these things, in the same way that I would argue I've seen a lot of polyamory go pretty, a lot of polygamy has gone pretty south, less amory,
right,
less amour and more like how many pets can I have, honestly. Like, but again, in the exact same capacity, monogamy too, it can become a game of like cheating. How many pets can I have? So it is less in the construct of the thing and more in how you use it.
Right. I think it's an interesting like theory question.
Food for thought.
Not to be like annoying, low-key. Let's theorize about polyamory.
It's big right now. 2026 is actually the year.
You turn 23 and all of a sudden all of your friends are talking about polyamory.
Yeah, that's okay.
And then you turn 28 and all of your friends have to start hanging out naked together.
This is what I've heard. This is true.
This is true.
If you're wondering what New York is like, this is true.
But this is what it's like to live in Bushwick.
Bushwick is exactly what they say.
It's actually like. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's worse. It's worse than they say it is.
It's filled to the brim.
You can't imagine what's happening. You can't imagine what's happening at Dyke Sauna.
in rooms you couldn't imagine.
Rooms you could the worst people you have ever met are all gathering in rooms you could not imagine.
And having a great time.
And they're doing ketamine.
And they're having a great time. You started dance at a very young age, and we can all say that there was probably an advantage to that. There is probably evidence for the advantage of starting later, perhaps. But for people that are inspired by dance or wanting to dance or maybe just wanting creativity in their life in general, but feel like, because I also had the benefit of dancing when I was young. Yeah. So if I returned to dance now, it would be a return and not a new endeavor. So if there's any encouragement for people wanting to start it, whether it's getting back into it or especially for those that have never been taught to be in touch with their body, especially since like your Lola was a competitive gymnast and like even tennis is like you have to be very aware of how your body's
dad's
connected.
A crazy athlete.
Yeah,
my dad's a crazy I didn't even get into that and I low-key forgot I talked about my dad. But no, he was dope. He like walked onto the UCLA tennis team.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Like beat one of the kids who was like recruited to walk onto the team.
Wait, that's amazing. That's so much fun.
No,
they make Netflix originals about stuff like that.
My dad's dope. And has always been so active.
Body and movement and active was important in your family. And some people are tempted or especially at our age and this life stage maybe recognizing that they don't have that and searching for it.
Dude, I think we're all actually hot take. I think we're all depressed because no one's doing movement games anymore. Just that I think like with kids even you play freeze dance. Like you encourage like kids to move their bodies and that's such an essential part of education and I think that like such a big part of like our culture today alienates us from our bodies. I'm like so like number one biggest advocate of everyone developing a personal movement practice. I think a lot of people like are quick to say that they can't dance and have a specific idea of what being able to dance looks like. And sometimes there's a lot of pressure in that language to claim oneself as a dancer. Or to say, yeah, like, I can dance pretty well. I feel like that feels like there's a certain expertise or level of ability required. I think absolutely everyone is a mover. And I think it can be as simple as, like, for 5 minutes a day, like putting on your favorite song and just and dancing around to it and not caring what it looks like. That's the other problem. No one dances at the clubs anymore because everyone's so scared they're gonna get clipped. Everyone's so scared that someone's gonna take their phone out and video them and it's gonna get posted somewhere. And so no one wants to look stupid. So no one wants to dance anymore. And for one, what makes you think you're gonna look stupid if you dance? Even if you do look stupid, you're having so much more fun than whoever's looking at you through a phone screen. With a movement practice specifically, it's the most important thing, and I would kind of say the only important thing, is how it feels. I think especially if people just want to move for fun, it kind of doesn't matter how it looks.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times in a world where we are so image conscious and through social media, like, construct an image self, and there is this expectation of an idea of oneself that we have to uphold and maintain publicly. And I think to do things for ourselves, like, truly we have to say, like, fuck it to how things look.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, a lot of the times I dance around my room, it probably looks super fucking stupid. It actually probably does, and I get really conscious when I film myself dancing, because then I'm thinking about making it look good, or making it, like, making it something, trying to be something other than letting it just be what it is. The most fulfilled I am when I'm dancing is when I allow myself to move without judgment and follow sensation.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for anyone looking to develop a personal movement practice, like, prioritize feeling. Please, please, please. My favorite way to dance is to pull a curtain over the mirror and turn the lights off and just listen to my music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And have open space.
Mm-hmm. There's a big difference that needs to be recognized between feeling good and feeling embarrassed or feeling shameful. And you can feel shameful and not feel like that can be not a bad feeling. That can just be the thing that needs to be worked through.
Yeah.
To know that I can feel embarrassed dancing silly at the club or poorly skill set wise at the club, but yeah, people need to feel good more.
I think people should be proud for doing it at all.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
It is such an expressive, expansive, explorative form of movement, and that's the other part of it, is that, like, there is such a physicality to it, but it is an art.
Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely still an art, and, like, art in the sense of, like radical potential.
Mm-hmm.
Within dance, there are so many styles and techniques that are codified forms, and you also can kind of do anything. You kind of can do anything, and there are no rules.
I love that. I think this is the note that I was hoping we would get to, which is dance is expansive and expressive, and
Yeah.
if it is just 5 minutes dark in your room alone and that's all you need, that's great. But
Yeah.
there's so much opportunity for people to have dance in their lives, and I'm so happy that you've danced in yours. My final request,
I am too, dude.
thank goodness for comp dance. Give it up for comp
Not
dance.
even that. Low key. Okay. I love comp dance. I absolutely love it. I think part of why I comp dance, and also, like, the culture of the town I grew up in,
Mm-hmm.
low key, and the academic pressure I felt, is a big reason why I didn't pursue dance growing up. My ballet teacher, since I was 10, was telling me I'm going to be a lawyer.
Mm.
And I theoretically have a lot of skills that would help me succeed in that conventional way.
But they were not doing radical potential the way that we want to.
Oh my god, no. I think that's the thing is like, okay. For the record, I went to school. I have a Bachelor of Arts in politics with a minor in philosophy. I think my big frustration with politics and why I love philosophy is because politics really doesn't have a lot of room for creativity. Mm-hmm. I think that, like, very often, things that are creative, things that are different require more effort, require more time. I think that is not something most people want to put in. You look at, and obviously this is not the purpose of an office like Doge, but it's government efficiency, that we want to slash things in and put less effort and make things run like a machine, like a business. That is something I find so frustrating. And something I loved about philosophy is that it is inherently a creative, expansive, questioning, like, form. Mm-hmm. That, like, the whole point is to try and understand the nature of things. You look at early Greek philosophers. Humans are so creative in our ideas to try and make sense of the world. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, our culture, like, really doesn't prioritize things that take time and effort. Like, we live in a convenience culture, and I think creativity requires difficulty and not always doing the easiest thing or the first thing. Sitting with what impulses are and having that be separate from the actual actions we take.
My last question after this would just be, like, media that you would recommend. Like, if it's
a
song or a book or a movie or a dance performance you saw that changed everything recently or
okay.
not.
Yeah, dance performance, Nicole Von Arx's Cry Wolf. I think aesthetically I love Nicole Von Arx's work. I think the physicality of it is really awesome. And also, like, from a conceptual point of view, it was taking the tale of the boy who cried wolf and kind of looking at truth and the stories we tell and why might the boy cry wolf? Why might we listen, pay attention? Where does truth get misinterpreted, lost? Who gets to tell the truth? Mm-hmm. Whose story is true? I still am thinking about that work and the conceptual nature of it, like the intellectual question, and then obviously how do we transform that into physicality, into an embodied expression.
Mm-hmm. Especially when it's the story being written before.
Yeah.
Because you do a lot of articulating what story has been told through movement, and this was sort of like the story has already been written and how do we express it through movement.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That I saw that back in October. I think it's so beautiful and amazing. Right now, I'm reading a million things. I have a whole stack of books. Right now I'm reading Art on My Mind by Bell Hooks. Mm-hmm. And I just started reading this. But it's very, very interesting, talking about art as like a life force, creative force, but also like why creativity and art has been devalued. Why, like, as a culture, and specifically in Bell Hooks' writing, she's writing about in Black culture, why art is and the pursuit of art is not seen as important or valued or perpetuated. And I think that's very interesting. And I'm so excited to like further delve into those ideas. Listening to, oh God, first thing that comes to mind is the song Geese by Searows. It's because it's been making me very sad, this one line of it. That's a reference to Wild Geese by Mary Oliver. And I might be paraphrasing this, I might be quoting it directly, I don't know. The lyric is, you don't have to be good, but you cannot do nothing. And I think that's the biggest thing I am trying to remind myself consistently in process and in life in general is that like the most important thing is being in the practice of doing, and there are not as much good choices and bad choices and right choices and wrong choices as there are choices. And that more important than doing something right is to do it. And a lot of times I stop myself from doing things because I am not certain I can do them well. And that's, I guess, the biggest thing I miss about the way I worked as a kid is that I really had that mindset that I can't do it yet, but I want to, and so I will.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's obviously it's different, and there's so many more things on my plate now that I could not have imagined having to deal with then. And there are so many things that were taken care of for me that now I have to do myself. And also, like, I am capable and can do hard things.
Yeah. Yeah. And pursuit is about perseverance. Which you've got and you're doing.
I really do believe that I have a lot of confidence and not a lot of belief. And I think that confidence...
Yeah, faith in...
Oh, yeah. And I think that's such a big ADHD thing, where because I really struggle with, like, executive functioning and, like, basic taking care of myself functions, it's really hard to, like, have faith in myself to be able to follow through on larger things, because I'm sitting here thinking, man, you can't even get up till 2 p.m. and you spend so long thinking about whether you should eat or shower first that it's 5 p.m. and you haven't done either.
Yeah. I think a lot of... I feel like I hear this pitfall a lot in people our age, or maybe that's just, like, the people I'm talking to about this sort of thing, but, like, falling into the narrative of, I can't do this, like, I can't even do X, so how could I possibly do Y, is really dangerous, because I don't do plenty of maybe necessary, obligatory, important things, because I'm doing things that are maybe less, maybe more important, but, like, this is, again, which is such a kind of, like, always an annoying point to make, but, like, both things can be true. I can forget to brush my teeth nearly every night, and I can also, like, kind of kill it at work or something. Like, I can do both. Or maybe some weeks I'll do neither. Maybe some weeks I'll disappoint myself on all fronts. And other weeks I'm flossing and brushing my teeth and my room is clean and I'm killing it at work and I'm seeing all my friends and I'm, like, hanging out with grandma. Like,
I think it's so hard.
There is imbalance in the small scheme, and there's ideally and typically balance in the grander picture.
I just think what's so hard about it is that, like, I think my mentality is so focused on all the things I have to do and haven't done.
Too many.
That it's really... I think it's very easy to forget, like, taking time to appreciate all the things that I am already doing, have done, like, have in the works, because I'm just thinking about all the things I still have to do.
Or feeling all of the things all at once. Because it's hard to make a priority list when, in theory, they're all number one.
Right.
Or like 5 things should be number one. How am I
Everything's
supposed
important to do, and I only have so much energy.
Yeah. My name is Sophie Chu O'Neill. This has been In the Hole with Morgan Ziegler, my first and most fave guest. Do you have any final words?
My final words are, everyone get a movement practice right now! And also, everyone needs to start doing more contact improvisation in the club. I think we need to be dancing weirder in the clubs.
More,
there
at the very least.
More at least, but also like there are really no rules, and I would love to be not the only person who's on the floor hitting my wiggly worms, my noodlings, my midnight wiggles. Yeah, I'm gonna need more people to join me in that. It's really fun. It's really fun, and you can dance however you want. Like really.
Yeah, there's no rules, actually. They didn't say
all
you
the
can't
rules
dance.
are made up and
Yeah.
low-key fake. Like, everything's fake and a construct, and we all need to, like, get weirder. Everyone needs to be more of a fucking freak.
Do you have club recs for the people? Woods Wednesdays?
No! No one needs to go to Woods Wednesday. No one needs to go. I'm mad they have a cover now. Bossa Nova Civic Club is pretty dope. Oh, this is more of like a pop-up rave thing. There's a techno rave called Play Me Techno, and they also, like, there are contemporary choreographers that present work there, and it happens at the same skate park that the
no way.
the dance performance I'm
Cool.
doing in June is in.
Yeah. Are they connected at all? Or
no.
the skate park's just
the skate
chill
park
like
just
that?
is chill with
Okay,
letting
yeah.
people like use it for dope stuff.
Yeah.
That, I think, is a really awesome space where
You can be wiggly.
dance as art form and also dance as like communal ritual exists together, and I think that's super awesome, and I think there should be so many more spaces like that. Yeah. Everyone needs to dance more. I love dance so much, and I think every time I go to a dance class, I stand when I'm not dancing and I watch everyone, and I think about how lucky I am to be able to have this shared vocabulary with people. I think it's so special to be able to move and to share that with other people, and everyone needs to just dance more. It doesn't have to look a certain way. Like, seriously, like, fuck specific, like, aesthetic, like, hierarchies for what good dance is. I think that everyone needs to, especially, like, if you are not like pursuing dance as a career and just want to dance for fun, like, please, it's for fun. It should feel good.
Yeah.
It should feel good. It should feel good. Fuck how it looks.
Yeah. I love you so much.
I love you so much.
I can't wait to have you on again. That's gonna be great.
And let's hope I have my shit more together.
You will by the nature of, you know how there's that saying, things don't change unless you do.
Yeah.
I think sometimes shit changes even if you don't. Even if you really want things to stay the same, things move around you, and you gotta be like water and move with it. And you will, and that's gonna be so darn exciting. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Thank you, love you. Thank you to this guy.
Cheeto baby, this is my son.
Cheeto
Shout out Anna Finger, my dear friend and sophomore year roommate. She moved to Chicago for grad school. This is our son together. I now have custody of our son. I sleep with him every night.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I sleep with him too sometimes.
Yeah. Sleepovers.
Sleepover.
Ugh, love you, Chooster.
Love you, Mooster.